me when she used to slam on the Yale Cupsy team. She's the person that sacked, if you don't remember her. And she's really dope, and she's amazing. But I was telling her, I was like, I don't think I've ever written a sad poem in my life. And she was like, no, like you always write these poems about overcoming. And I was like, but I just realized that today. So I've been feeling like a lot of pressure sometimes because I go to, this is not an indictment on anybody here, so just hear me out. I go to slams and I go to events and I feel like sometimes so heavy because we only talk about our trauma as if like that's all our lives are made out of. And that, we've all suffered and we've all struggled and sometimes we need to say it out loud to heal, but we've also laughed and we've also loved, and why don't we find those moments worth putting in poems? Students this year, I brought a group of brand new students for a brand new team to Cupsy this year. And it was great. But at one point, one of my students looks at me and she's got this look of just like such distress. And she was like, is it like this all the time? Is everybody at this close to breaking all the time? And I like, it like really shook me. So like I wrote this sort of like in response to that, and it's not saying that we shouldn't write about like what the shit is that's going on inside, but it's also saying like sometimes we have to minister to ourselves, which means like we have to remind ourselves of the joy and the other things that we've been through too. And so like this is my attempt or something, or I don't know. This is for my students. For my students. Enough pain for poetry. These days, I sit silently at the sill of a 10-foot window in an old Victorian house. Wood bench on a wood floor, cracking clawfoot tub, a cobra vertebrae staircase snaking its way to the roof. I see the outside world. The trees in absolute green. I see the sky undoubtful of its blue and do not feel the need to add to the silence. When I was young, I wanted my words on everything, scroll my body into ledger, inscribe my name on every lover, my pain on every audience, writing mine, mine, mine across their faces. I used to dream of a beautiful exsanguination, cutting my wrists, blood of fountain pen across the walls, asking everyone to read enjambment between the hemoglobin to see how the lines enjambment breathe. But then I grew lucky, or grew up, or grew roots, or grew God, and grew students, which meant I grew really careful and also thankful, but then really careful again about how I take care of an audience, how not to saddle them with my baggage without offering them a canteen in return. Teach my students about what is valuable, about what deserves a poem, asking them to find their identity in more than just their suffering. Your stories are not one note, so don't make everything chorus a eulogy when your life deserves an ode. You will care about the craft. You will not snap at lines simply because they're the most dramatic. We survive trauma but keep living because someone loved us once, if only briefly. Carried us like groceries, held us in the brown paper bag of their laugh. Can't you hear it rustling? So I celebrated Sequoia and her platonic love. How when her best friend enters the room, her voice became a whole ecosystem and nobody died. And I celebrated Amira and her poem about impulse buys and her extra innocent yellow number 5 love of juicy fruit gum and nobody died. And I celebrated Heavenly and her poem about basketball and learning hard life lessons no matter how badly she wanted to write over and over, my mother doesn't love me and maybe some people died, but my students survived. And isn't that worth all the words I can muster?
Yeah.
I tell them, you can write about it to purge, but no because your blood is not fossil fuel. We can excavate so deeply, go below the bones, that we can exhume our souls and don't know how to put it back. So there will be no offshore drilling in this poem. There will be no fracking of my pain, no North Dakota pipeline out of my veins. I sit in this Victorian house with mint trim and mint closets, which contain pictures of the Klan, and choose not to write about them. Don't even let them see the light of day. Instead, I savor the taste of lemonade, thanking God for Beyonce and sugar. Thanking God for dollar slices of pie and clockwork towns that close at 6. Thankful for strangers who invite me over for dinner and churches on every corner. At least here, I know there will always be someone to feed me and pray with me. And isn't that sometimes a reason to be silent? Have a moment of gratitude. Look out the window, sighing contentedly under its arched brow. This is not naive optimism. This is rigor. This is craft. This is calling what be not as though it is. This is creation. I had to minister to myself, had to learn the alchemy and then lend the words. I had to remember my joy, had to speak it into being. And when I looked up from my blood-soaked hands, I saw that it was good.